Hello and welcome to Turtleton's Tutorials. Today we're going to be taking an advanced look on how to survive your first night in Minecraft. And not only that, but how to do it efficiently. And to that end, you'll see we're going to be starting a new world. It's going to be Turtleton's Tutorials, and it's going to be on survival mode, and we're going to have a completely random seed generated. So, once the level has started to build, we're going to go and collect the most fundamental of Minecraft resources, and that is tree logs. So as soon as you get in there, locate your first tree and start punching it. If you're running on a slower computer, you might want to press escape at this time, pause the game, and allow the world to simulate for a little bit longer so it doesn't feel laggy to you. But otherwise, go and collect yourself your first tree worth of wood, which is going to be between 4 and 6 blocks. And you'll be doing all this by hand, and once that's done, convert all that to wooden planks and turn 4 of those into a crafting table, which you'll immediately use to create a set of sticks and your first set of wooden tools, that being a wooden axe and a wooden pickaxe. Excellent. So this is a really quick and a really efficient way of getting straight into Minecraft and being able to chop down a lot of trees very quickly. And essentially that's what you're going to be doing for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. However, all the time you're doing this, you want to be keeping an eye out for any caves. Caves are going to be where you're forming your first shelter, as they're really quite an efficient way of doing so, as they take less resources, both in terms of wood to build a house, and in terms of time to get it up and running, because the land is already there. Another key point to make here is not to use your wooden axe to chop down leaves. It deteriorates the quality of the axe much quicker than it would do by doing it by hand, and also you're not getting anything from it. It doesn't have a higher yield of saplings, for example. And speaking of saplings, it's a good thing to try and collect them as you're going along, so work your way around your spawn in a circular pattern and you'll get a lot of them. Because the saplings are going to be used to replant your trees, because obviously you're going to be needing the wood again sooner or later. And they're also going to be used to smelt things. Now, there's some coal over there which we're going to ignore because, as I mentioned, you're going to be using a furnace to smelt charcoal. So this is what you're collecting so much wood for. So you can get away with being on a map where you don't find any coal early on, so you'll still have a light source effectively. That's not to say you can't collect coal if you see it. Of course you can. But on some maps you won't find coal very quickly, so you need a guaranteed way of getting a light source early on in the game. And that's through cooking wooden logs. Excellent. Right, this is carrying on, and you'll see that the axe is deteriorating past the 25% mark. So we should be getting on to about midday shortly. We're not quite there yet. But having a game or a sense of time in your head when playing this is going to be helpful to let you know how things are going. So, carry on chopping down wood up until the point where your axe breaks. We shouldn't be too far away now. In fact, this should be the last block after this one. Here we go. Right, we'll just take one more, and that's given us 60 logs, which is an excellent start. So, while we were doing this, if I just collect a few more saplings, I've noticed that there's a cave up behind this ridge here. So, this one at the bottom isn't actually a cave, however the one at the top is, which is perfect. Now it appears to be quite a big cave, and yes, we do have a zombie spawned right in the middle of it due to the light levels, so we're going to spend another minute just looking for something a bit better. You really don't want to get into a combat situation on your first night, as you have no tools or armor to really deal with it. So going into a larger, darker cave is inevitably going to cause you problems. So as you can see, I'm looking around for a cave here. Good places to check are on the side of hills. Very occasionally you'll find one on the ground, but they tend to be quite deep, long caves. Much more suited for spelunking. And, of course, on the top of hills. So while you're looking for a cave, it's good to take stock of resources you have here, such as this is a good area for cows. And we have a few sheep over there, which could be useful later. So, it looks like we're stuck for using our large cave, which is going to get us in a main combat situation, which the best way to deal with is to draw out a zombie or skeleton, or if it's a creeper, you want to get the creeper out of it and then far enough away from your base that you can run back without it following you. So, here we have the zombie who's moving over towards us, and we're going to want the sun to set him on fire, and for the fire to do most of the damage. As you'll see, if I try and hit him, I'm going to take damage myself, and 2 hearts is quite significant from 1 hit. I do heal up, but it's costing me my hunger meter. So now I've gone past the point where I'll heal. I do get experience from it, which is going to be good when I get to the enchanting stage, but otherwise it's not great. So, now that we've got the cave, keeping an eye out for any more monsters, we want to collect 8 pieces of stone, or specifically 8 pieces of cobblestone. Once we have that, we'll park our bench down and turn the cobblestone into a furnace. Now the furnace is going to generate light, so you'll want to put that somewhere relatively central to the cave. And we take half our tree trunks and turn those into wooden logs. We'll get quite a lot of wood, and we can use some of that wood to start turning those logs into charcoal. So now we're looking to get 9 more pieces of cobblestone and have a quick look around our cave. You see we've got a big hole in the back of it which is going to need blocking, and a few pieces of coal which we can collect later on. And once we've got 9, maybe 10 pieces of cobblestone, we'll be able to make us a set of stone tools. There we go, perfect. So, perhaps making 3 sets of sticks will give us enough if we need for what we're going to do. So we make 1 stone axe, 1 stone shovel, 1 stone pickaxe, and of course a sword. Now, we'll take our first set of 5 charcoal and we'll use them to make some torches, which we can then dot around our base centrally in the floor, and that will discourage any mobs from spawning and killing us. Also, you want to take some time here to think about your own preferences in hotkey layouts. You can see mine set up there. It varies from person to person, but now is the time where you want to start getting everything laid out how you like. And of course, another good thing to be doing at this point is to sealing off our cave. Nightfall is quickly approaching, and we don't want to have a massive hole in our base when the sun goes down. So, spending a few pieces of wood here, you'll see we've made a quite good shelter, and a light on the front will help us get back after we go and harvest some meat, and will also discourage more zombies from spawning right in front of us. Sun's setting, so we're going to have to be quick. We need to find some food. Now, cows are the best bet, at a preference, as they, when killed, will give you both steaks and leather. They take 2 hits, and they run away, so you need to be quick, but it's not too difficult at this point. Of course, the leather is going to be useful in making your very first set of armor, and the meat's going to be there so you can re-top up your hunger meter and eventually enable you to start restoring health points again. At a second choice, you should really be looking for chickens. Chickens die in one hit, and will give you both meat and feathers, which are useful for collecting or creating arrows. Again, keeping an eye on the sun, because you don't want to get caught out at night. Finally, pigs are probably your third best bet, as they just give you pork. And sheep, while they don't give you any meat, are arguably quite useful, in that 3 sheep will allow you to make a bed out of the wool they give you, which you can use to almost negate mobs spawning during the night, because you can get rid of the whole night cycle by sleeping. So the sun is quickly setting, and we need to get back to our base. We have a fair stock of food, and we have a gap which we need to fill in before the sun fully goes down. So, we'll take our coal, and we'll just seal this back door, lest we get attacked by mobs. This isn't something you necessarily need to do on a smaller cave, as the entrance might be closed, but here, as you can see, it's of paramount importance. So, now we have a few more stacks of charcoal, and we're going to need to cook our meat on this. Now it's a good point to use some of the charcoal to cook this, as it's more efficient. So our first steak we can eat away on. That will hold off the hunger for a while, and start us to regain some health. Of course, we can make ourselves a leather tunic. If you only have 5 pieces of armor, always make a set of boots before a hat, as it gives the same damage protection, so it's more efficient in terms of the leather you have. And if you want to make yourself a chest now, it's a good time too, because you can always store some unuseful items at this point before you go out and adventure during the next day. At this point of the night, you can start to take stock of things like equipping your leather armor, I should say, and collecting your food, and doing anything else you might need to just to tidy up the area and get yourself ready for the following day. So charcoal can be used with saplings, in conjunction with saplings, to cook the last of the meat off instead of using a whole piece of charcoal for that one last steak. You'll see now we have a full set of stone tools. We even have a couple of levels of experience, and our hunger meter is no longer depleting, and we still have food. Our shelter's well stocked, we have all the furniture we need, and we even have some resources in the back here we can collect. So there you have it. You now have effectively the 4 cornerstones of surviving your first night in Minecraft, that being shelter, food, tools, and light sources. Now it's important not to waste your nighttime cycle, obviously, so you can start mining or collecting any exposed ore you have inside your cave, or just collecting more cobblestone. So, congratulations, you have now survived the first night and the first day of Minecraft. You have yourself a shelter, and you now have to make the most difficult of decisions. What do you intend to do on your second day? This has been Turtleton's Tutorials. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again next time.